Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. A shout out to drone enthusiasts everywhere, and of course, as always, a shout out to all of my friends at the Drone Seekers. Hey, I got something a little different going on here today. I am out at the Guffey Bridge, and that's over by Celebration Park on the Snake River in Canyon County in Idaho. Kind of some interesting history here. So what we're going to focus on is just taking this little guy up in the air and flying over the river, maybe going under Guffey Bridge, which is an old railroad bridge that was built in the late 1800s to service the silver mines up in the Oahe Mountains. So anyway, we'll get a little bit more into that. But let's just get this little guy into the air. It's kind of windy today, so I'm a little bit nervous, you know, because it's a light little drone flying in the wind, but I don't think it's all that bad. Let's give it a shot. Okay, it's telling me takeoff permitted, so it looks to me like we're ready to go. I'm going to start recording before we even take off here, and we're going to do a hand launch. So I'm going to hold it out just like I talked about the other day. By the way, I looked at Billy's video again, and what he was doing was holding both sticks in. But I'm gonna use the app to do it. Hit takeoff, and then with my thumb, I'm just gonna hold the takeoff button down, and it should just take off right out of my hand. And indeed it did. So as you can see, it's fairly windy. Look at it, it's bouncing around a little bit. We got a pretty good breeze going here. But I want to show you guys some stuff. So first, we are going to spin around this way, and we're going to look at this island out here. Let's see if we can get some altitude. And we'll head on out there. That is called Guffey Island right there. Yeah, it's giving me strong wind warnings. Well, I figure, and of course, as soon as I took off, a big wind really came up there. So I'm going to stop here for a second. So that island is called Guffey Island, and it's on the Snake River here, next to Guffey Bridge that you're going to see in a second. Right off to our left here, and we're going to yaw a little bit over to the left. So there was a town right there that was called the town of Guffey, and what Guffey was for was to service all of the mines up in the Oahe Mountains that you see off there in the distance. And so they would haul supplies into the mines and silver out. And you know, why is this a significant area, you might ask? Well, you'll see here in a second. Yeah, we're getting those wind warnings. I'm a little nervous about that, but we'll just take it easy here and go on across. Yeah, part of me is, you know, I really am enjoying flying this this little Mavic Mini, but you know, in situations like this is where that Mavic 2 would come in handy for sure. So I'm sure this is somebody's property, so we're not going to fly over the top of that, but we'll just do a yaw around here, and you can see the Snake River meandering off in the distance there. And the mountains that you see in the background are the Oahe Mountains, actually more to where the left of where we're at here. But let's go ahead and yaw completely around. And there again, that's Guffey Island right there. And at this point, we're probably pointed just almost due north. And right there is Guffey Bridge, and that is where we're at. You can see my red Durango there parked at the base of the bridge, let's move forward, move back towards us. And looks like the wind warnings have calmed down a little bit. Let's just kind of fly over the top here. You know, I have to tell you, you know, we got those wind warnings, but other than that, when you're flying this little drone, it honestly just feels like a bigger Mavic. It's amazing. Let's lose a little altitude. And then I am going to go right over the top, and we'll go down the Snake River here a little ways. So that's the Guffey Railroad Bridge that was built in the 1800s, or the late 1800s, right at the turn of the century. And you know, it serviced the mines, I guess, for about 15 years or so, and then it became I guess the mines, I don't know if they played out, I'm not sure what happened there, but then it was used to service agriculture around here. So it would haul you know, grain and everything else produced here, and haul it out. And then of course eventually trucking became cheaper. My understanding is it was used through the 1950s. So what you're seeing there on the left, that is Celebration Park, and we're going to go there in here in just a little bit. We're going to do some flying from there here in a little while too. But I just wanted to fly around. Yeah, weak signal. I'm pointed the wrong way, so that was my fault. I was turned exactly the opposite way from the bird. But we don't need to go too far down that way because we got plenty to look at right here. So here's the bridge, and I'm just the other side of it. Yeah, we're getting those strong wind warnings again. Let's go out over the middle of the channel here a little bit. Sorry for those quick yaws there, didn't mean to do that. Let's drop a little height. You see people fishing here, so there's a lot of hiking trails and stuff up beyond this bridge. So this is a hiking bridge now. You know, it's a walking bridge. You can walk right through it, but you can definitely tell that is an older bridge, and you know, that it had value as a railroad bridge. So I'm going to approach this rather gingerly here. I can hear the bird. Yeah, we're good. I'm coming on through, guys. Full throttle. I can hear the bird. It's right in front of me. That was fun. Wow, I hit the brakes there, and boy did the bird come to a stop. So it's almost directly in front of me now. Whoops, I did not mean to turn so abruptly there. So I think we ought to go back under the bridge here. What do you think? We got that strong wind warning. We got a lot of metal. We're risking the little bird, but I think we can do it. Look at that. Full stick forward under the bridge. Why would that be something that I'd be way more concerned about with my more expensive Mavic? So I'm sorry we're turning into the sun here, but I wanted you to see what the trails and the mountains here look like. So let's explore this a little bit. Let's get some height. Aircraft power insufficient, so I'm just going to ascend and stop forward movement. And we are still getting those wind warnings. But let's kind of explore this a little bit. Let's kind of go up the gully here. What do you think? Little bit of FPV brake up there, and then you know, obviously we're still getting those strong wind warnings. Trying to be ginger on the throttle here. Boy, I'll tell you what, so if you look at the screen here, we're doing a screen recording. What I don't like is that battery is white on white, and it's really hard to see. Yeah, so what I got some kind of a warning there, and I didn't see it. So I wanted to show you how you can tell your flight time and your battery temperature, etc., and voltage. It's available for you if you just touch on the battery there. So people were asking about that last night. So let's ease off the throttle. Yeah, so we're that's what it was telling me. We're at max height here, legal height, 120 meters. So, and that's where we've set it to stop at. So obviously I'm not going to climb over the top of these mountains. We'll do a quick yaw around. So now we're looking back at the Snake River towards the Oahe Mountains. And the little town, or what's left of the little town of Guffey there, right about in the center of the screen now. Okay, let's head on back. Here we come. We're just going to go full throttle here in P mode. And I can lose a little altitude here. Yeah, strong wind, fly with caution, land promptly. So I guess we are taking a little bit of a risk with the bird. We're down to about 49% battery. Guffey Bridge. You can see old steam engines now chugging over the top of that and going over the little town of Guffey to unload and then reload with what they were taking, whatever they were taking back to the main line. What you're staring at there is the road that I came in on as well. And there, looking down at the bridge, you can see me there standing next to the next to my Dodge, and I can hear the bird above us. So on this ridge that you're looking at here, you know, that's obviously part of the Snake River Plain, and you heard me talk earlier about all the boulders and so forth that were sent down the river by when the Bonneville Dam burst 10,000 years ago. Well, you're staring at some of them right there. The other thing that went on here, and we'll talk about that more when we get over to the park there, Celebration Park, is that this was a Native American campground here, and there's some petroglyphs and stuff on these rocks, lots of walking trails there. Let's drop a little altitude and yaw around a little bit. Yeah, we've got another wind warning. There's kind of an overhead of the park. We'll get more of that later. Celebration Park, lots of camping facilities, etc. Okay, let's pick up the camera and do a little reveal on the mountain here. And we're looking right into the sun. So this is, as you can tell, this is facing south, so it's kind of the winter sun. the Guffey Bridge again. Well, let's bring it back and let's land it. If I had the Paradenofi, we could get under there and look up. Aircraft power insufficient, and I am barely on the stick. Yeah. Well, we better bring her in here. So I'm just the other side of that tree there. And I am staring right at the little drone. So let's bring it in front of the camera here. Get on this other side of the camera. Hopefully you can see it here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick it up just a little bit. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but what I'm gonna do is pull down on the stick and grab it. One of my problems that I have is depth perception. Yeah, so that took me a second there, guys. That was not the most delicate thing. It was moving around some. I pitched it real hard. It was wanting to take off, and I don't think I had the I don't think I was pulling down hard enough on the stick. I think I had it a little bit to the side, but it finally figured out what I wanted to do and shut down, so that's good. So let's shut down video. Okay, let's head over to the park itself. I'll throw another battery in and we'll look around a little bit. Hey everybody, so you could tell in that video that that was actually supposed to go together with the other video that I posted yesterday when I sent the little Mavic Mini up the Snake River and I struggled to get it back and had to land it before getting clear back to home base. But this was arguably the historic part of the video, so I put it together, and this will be the conclusion. Just wanted to tell you a little bit more about Guffey and the Guffey Bridge. So the bridge was actually completed in 1897. In that same year, the little town of Guffey was created. So in the 1900 census, the little town of Guffey had a population of 126. And like I said, it served the silver mines up there. And then, so that railroad bridge was built for that purpose, hauling supplies in, and then ore, and I don't know how it hauled it back, whether it was just raw ore or what it was. But whatever they got out of the mines up there, and up there in the Oahe Mountains, there were a bunch of mines. And so all of that stuff came back. Which the second part of that is the Swan Falls Bridge, which I've talked about in previous videos, was built to provide power for those same mines. That again was in the early 1900s. But in the 70s, that bridge, had been sitting there. I guess it fell out of use in the 1950s. It was used for agriculture there for a while. On those farms and stuff, they'd haul their products back out with that. Then, of course, trucking became cheaper. It didn't make sense to have a railroad there. So they shut it down. But in the 1970s, they declared that bridge a historic landmark. and turned it into a walking bridge or a hiking bridge. And then people hike across there and go on all those trails that are across. So I don't know. I just thought you might find that a little bit interesting. The Mavic Mini that day, obviously the wind's there, and it's really evident when I watched that video. The winds were definitely high winds, and the little bird performed good and was definitely fighting the winds. So what I'm going to say is, heed those wind warnings. Obviously that next part of the video, when I was struggling to get back on the headwind, I did not. These are little bitty motors on this guy, and so they're going to struggle in a big headwind. So I'm just saying, learn from my mistakes on when I struggled to get it back. But this was really fun, making this first part. Flying the little drone underneath the bridge and so forth was pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of video, please consider subscribing to my channel. And most of all, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. And we will see you on the next one. The good old Mavic Mini, man. This is a fun little drone. I'm here to tell you, I'm having more fun with this little guy. It's well worth the $400 or $500 you spend on it. Let me tell you that. See ya.